is this? Day 10 of Pride. Yay! A third of the way there. And so obviously I've been doing a lot of scripted, unscripted, watching, unwatching videos of various forms and types. I wanted to do something completely unscripted. I don't even have an intro scripted. Fuck! This is something I planned before the month even started, but I also kind of do want to talk about a little bit because I did allude to it briefly in the I No Kusabi video, which if you haven't watched already, make sure to check that out. And every other video I've done with Pride Miss. Donate to my Patreon, click join, everything I've said 12,000 times already. And we'll say 25,000 times more. That being Omegaverse, and kind of give my opinions on Omegaverse. Because I will say that generally my opinions have changed over the course of the years, and also because Omegaverse obviously is always a trending topic. A controversial topic, I think controversial generally for no reason, especially within the grand scheme of storytelling. I feel like it's something that people like just to like, or people reference just to be edgy, or people hate just because it's popular, or like, for some reason they insist on putting themselves in the midst of Omegaverse discourse or Omegaverse media, which is fairly easy to avoid, and yet they still find themselves in the middle of it because they want to be part of the conversation. They don't want to have FOMO and whatever. And so I kind of wanted to share my updated thoughts on it, because I used to be someone who was very much like, I don't like Omegaverse, period. Not like in like a hate the shit type of thing, it just wasn't for me. So yeah, this is basically just a queer man's opinion on Omegaverse to tie it into Pride. I would say that I'm curious about people's opinions. I'm not really that curious, especially when it comes to Omegaverse, because I feel like people just want to talk about it and want to hate on it just to hate on it because it's something to do and to say, and because you can farm engagement and farm people agreeing with you and farm being liked through social media about that, which is not what I'm here to do today. Just kind of here to share my opinions on it. So first of all, if you don't know what Omegaverse is basically a subcategory of fictional, usually, I can't even say because Tadaima Okairi exists, but it's a subcategory of BL media. Media in general, it's not just BL, it's also present in GL, it is also present in Western fantasy. From my understanding, it stems from werewolf fantasy, characters that essentially have what are known as secondary genders within the story. So you have alphas, you have omegas, and you have betas. And I believe there are other categories, but don't quote me on it, I'm not an Omegaverse professor. In my not being an Omegaverse professor, I'm probably gonna f this up, but I'm gonna try to explain it best I can as an outsider. Alphas is basically are like what you would assume an alpha would be, and then he just never told you. Alphas basically are the ones, you know what, we'll start with omegas. It's called Omegaverse. Omegas are basically, well, you know what? It's so much. This is part of why I've been turned off by it, because there's like the whole Omegaverse Bobby you gotta read before you get into the shit, and like, I'm a man, we don't read the manual. Within BL, so we're talking about men in relationships with men. Male omegas are essentially men that can get pregnant. That is the most simplistic way to describe them. They have uteruses. They do not have, you know what? I'm not even gonna try to attempt to act like I know the exact specifics of the biology, but I do know that basically you can impregnate a man through an ass, aka my worst nightmare. They also go into heats, which is basically like a mating period, like with animals. Alphas are basically the ones who can impregnate omegas. They're also the ones who are like biologically linked to omegas, where in essence, when a alpha ruts, I think is what it's called, and then omegas go into heat. And so like when things line up, like an alpha just wants to, like an omega can give off pheromones when they're in heat that like attracts alphas and makes an alpha want to impregnate them. Alphas also have knots. If you're familiar with kimono and furry, you know what a knot is. Then there's betas, and the betas are just kind of existing to exist to like kind of populate out the story. Although from my understanding, there are also people who really enjoy beta omega stories from my understanding. And I feel like that's something that I could be drawn to if it was something I sought out. But you know, not today, not this month, not this year either. I have so much to do. And so betas exist, and they like don't have anything other than being beta. Like I'm a beta. We're all betas by default because we're not alphas or omegas. I think y'all can gather this about me by now, but I'm not really drawn into any kind of story based on it being a certain category, it being a certain genre, it being a certain subcategory, it being a certain trope or whatever. Like I am very much like not go in blind, but like go in and accept a thing and see how all the moving parts come together and decide based off of what I know of the story if it's something that I would want to engage in. There are very few things where I'm like, I will absolutely not engage with, I don't know, horror. I will absolutely not engage with Omegaverse. I will not absolutely engage with girls' love. Like that, those are all three not functionally true. There's nothing I can really think of off the top of my head that is a type of story that would like deter me from trying it if there were things about it from the surface level of my learning about it that I would want to get into it. Like I used to say that I don't like isekai. I watch like several isekai a year at this point because there are just many different moving parts. A hot character, an interesting premise, funny shit, I don't know, like things that just happen to appeal to me when I check out a series and then I check into it and I'm either pleasantly surprised or I end up disappointed, and it is what it is because I tried things. Don't be afraid to fucking try things. So Omegaverse was something that I was already like, I don't have an opinion on when it first started popping up in my view, and knowing it was a thing, I was like, okay, well, this is a thing. I mean, if I encounter it, I encounter it. But I was kind of deterred from it, I think largely because like, I'm not a huge fan of like, what is it called? Pollen. I'm not like a fan of like, and again, I'm someone who consumes furry so like, I very much am used to like animalistic things, but I'm not a huge fan of like a character having like some sort of biological reaction where like they suddenly are like aroused or like suddenly into a character because of like, oh, like nature, I guess. Like, I don't know. I'm always just generally more interested in the notion of someone is interested in another character just because they are attracted to that character. Like, it's much more of like a conscious choice as opposed to like a biological excuse, I guess, for lack of a better description. I don't have anything against heats. It doesn't like squick me out or ruts or whatever. Like, it's not something that I'm like, ew, oh my god, I'm offended. It's just something where I'm like, like, I'd rather a yandere, you know what I mean? Like, there's an intention behind it. I think the one, like, major Omegaverse I remember distinctly picking up was the Daima Okairi, and when I picked it up, it was, like, literally, like, 3 pages explaining what Omegaverse was, and I was like, do I have to read all of this? Because I'm not going to. I mean, I think I did read it at the time, but I was like, why do I need all that? And then I read to Daima Okairi, and there was no f***ing sex in it, so I was like, what the literal f*** was the point of Omegaverse having this whole, like, world thing built off of it and like all this other shit, it wasn't appeal to me, which I know sounds hypocritical as a fan of Fate, where it's like everything is everything. And Kingdom Hearts, like the hypocrisy knows no bounds with me. And like the biggest hypocrisy is probably the fact that I do have a bit of a breeding kink in my in my fiction. I can't lie, like this makes me even worse, and again, to be saying this during Pride Month, as someone who like consumes like a sizable amount of Korean manhwa, het Korean manhwa. I f***ing love it. I love I can't stand it. I hate to admit this on camera, but I love that, like, no, Oppa, it's a safe day. It's not a safe day type shit. Yo, I can't lie. Like, that shit cracks me up. Like, it's so funny. It's so funny, but it also is like kind of hot. Oppa, it's not a safe day. Or Oppa, go ahead, it's a safe day. Like, I'm like, all right, I don't know. You on the pill? Like, I don't know. We don't need to know because it's fiction. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Shoot that shit up. Oh, throw me away. This video can't go on YouTube. The straight men of Korea are thriving with the breeding kink. Oh, but it's a safe day. It's so funny, but anyway. So yeah, I'm a hypocrite when it comes to a lot of things about it. Whether it being complicated or like the of it all, like it should in theory appeal to me more, especially because like it involves mpreg. So like part of my like being drawn to is like in the notion of like, oh, someone potentially getting pregnant and like the risk that comes with. It's like the risk of it, because in real life I do not want children. And so like that's kind of where like my being drawn to it in fiction is, because it's like it's enacting something that I absolutely would not engage in real life. That being said, I would say that at this point my feelings on Omegaverse have generally become very neutral, like to the point that I would be willing to try it. One thing I think I've mentioned already is that beta omega couplings is something that I think would appeal to me in theory, because you have one character who has like some sort of like biological reaction where they're is and like they need to get and then you have this other person who like is like totally like, I can't relate. I don't know what is going on here, but if you need me to you, I'll you. Like that type of shit, like that kind of appeals to me, generally speaking. Lupin the Third is something I will get to eventually one day, because that man is so fine, I can't even lie. And then one of my favorite manga artists slash doujin artists of all time, who I will never mention because I'm gatekeeping my faves, has done like a Lupin the Third Omegaverse doujinshi, and I'm like, and it's like they've only done one, and it's like the only thing of theirs that's not available on aftermarket, so I have to hunt it down. But yeah, that's generally how I feel about Omegaverse. TLDR, in summary, initially I was like deterred from it because all these explanations and like it felt like a lot added on for something that I was going to be reading strictly for, and Daima Okairi did not benefit the subcategory at all. But now I'm open to it. In alpha, I would be open to alpha omega situationships as well too. It's not going to be something that I ever like seek out. Like I'm looking for Omegaverse unless I did it for like a video. But generally speaking, I would much more prefer to like see a story like the story, find out it's Omegaverse, and then enjoy it based off of that, and then be like, hey, I do like Omegaverse. Still not something that I specifically seek out, same way I don't like specifically seek out like certain dynamics of relationships in BL or certain types of couplings in stories. Like, I very much like wait for a story to appear before me. Do I like the art? Do I like what it says the story is about? Do I like the setting? And then from there, try the story and go from there. I'm not like, I need a fantasy series right now. I need a romance series right now. I need BL right now. Like, I very much am like, I let the winds take me, I guess you could say. The Omegaverse winds. But that's everything for this video on my feelings on Omegaverse. I'd ask about y'all's feelings on Omegaverse, but I know and you know that I don't care. It's popular to hate everything in fiction, especially if it's associated with any sort of gay shit nowadays, and people like to mask it. This is problematic because, like, no, you're just homophobic. Like, just say you're homophobic because you're never going after straight shit. And there's straight Omegaverse, so you could go after straight Omegaverse, but y'all never do. You could literally read anything else, but y'all continue to do so, and y'all continue to complain about it. You act like only Omegaverse is coming out. Omegaverse is not the majority of BL that's coming out. So, like, at some point you have to look in the mirror and realize that you're the problem. Like, if you need something to read, you could just read, like, my content updates on my Patreon or by clicking join. Becoming a channel member. Or hey, if you don't have the money, or you're now mad at me because I, like, Omegaverse at this point, you could always, you know, channel your frustrations into signing some of the petitions down in the pinned comment. Speaking of frustrations, tomorrow is day 11, and I will absolutely be getting my frustrations out as I drag the worst straight romances in anime. Gunshot! Gunshot! Bye! Independent girls and nasty